And whenever we would be like doing interviews or whatever, we would just deny, even though like we were holding hands while denying it. So it was really jarring because you want the fans to like be killing for you and you want them to like fantasize about you being together, but you don't want to give them the yes. Um, so yeah, I kind of felt like a trickster at times, to be honest. It was very freeing to not keep it a secret anymore.
Was there ever a moment where you were like, wait, am I even in love? Or just playing someone who's in love?
I would say I always knew I was in love with him, and I was very much deeply in love. It's just that I started at some point questioning the things that I would do publicly. I didn't know if I did that from a place of love, from being a proud girlfriend, or to please other people. So no, I never had to pretend that I was in love with him, except for moments when we would fight probably, and we would be on set, and then once we leave our green room, I'd have to pretend that we were okay. But even if you're fighting and angry, love is still there. Yeah, I think it's just a question or a matter of were all my actions truthful and or did they feel truthful to me in the moment?
Do you want to formally announce something right now?
Yeah, I've been honestly itching to tell people this because I haven't been very truthful. Ken hasn't been very truthful. Ken and I broke up. But yeah, we've been broken up for almost 3 years now. And the reason, well, originally the reason why we haven't said anything about it is because Enrique or Ken asked me not to say anything about it first. And I don't want to speak for him, but I think it was coming from a place of not wanting it to be real. And at the same time, I agreed to that because I also didn't want it to be real. And this is coming from the people pleaser side of me because I was so afraid that if people found out that we weren't together anymore, my career would go bad or, people just wouldn't love me anymore. And so it's like, I just, it was me again, like just pretending or putting the things that I need to do for myself off to make other people happy and to make them feel safe. But yeah, me and Ken broke up almost 3 years ago.
Sometimes love ends long before the relationship does. I know I emotionally prepared to break up with my ex a year before we actually separated. Um, do you remember the moment you emotionally left, even before you left physically?
Oh, wow. That's like a yes and no question. I think a year before I actually broke up with him, there were already signs that were showing me that I was unhappy. But because I had built up this kind of toxic habit of pushing away anything that I felt like bothered me because I was afraid of confrontation, um, I decided to just swallow it or like sweep everything under the rug. I kind of accepted, I remember I did like a mental check with myself and I accepted that there were certain things about him that I wasn't okay with and that it's just always going to be like that. And that's just life. Like you win some, you lose some. You have to deal with the good and the bad. So I was like mentally telling myself these things because we were already at that point almost 8 years together. And I was genuinely expecting us to get married like soon, but then that didn't happen. And so when I broke up with him, I would say it was such a beautiful breakup because it was still so full of love. That's why I say yes and no, because it was so hard for me to actually break up with him because I love him. I still love him as a person. When I look back at like our time together, I just see good moments all the time. And he's like, I think of him as like a childhood best friend. And so it's just so beautiful. And, you know, I carry a lot of guilt for not being the one that held on, because that's what my fans wanted to do. But also, like, I needed to find myself and grow too. Yeah. And there were things that I knew that I shouldn't tolerate for the people that look up to me, for the younger me, and also for my future children. And that's not to say that he's a bad person. He didn't do anything bad. Nothing bad happened. Our breakup was really good. It was just, we weren't a match anymore.
Yeah. You know, sometimes we have to learn to be selfish to protect ourselves and choose ourselves. And I don't think walking away was a bad thing, because you were choosing you and you were choosing finding yourself and finding your freedom away from him and finding your independence. So it makes me sad that you feel guilty. Do you think you can get to a place in your heart where you liberate yourself from the guilt, having chosen yourself?
I really genuinely hope I do, because I still feel very bad about it. Like whenever I talk to him, we still talk from time to time. Whenever I just, you know, check in on our group of friends, I can't help but feel like they feel like I was so selfish, and I was being selfish, and I feel guilty about that. Like I don't know, I feel like I was born to be the understanding person, and I don't know why I couldn't do it in that moment, and I forever like will hate myself for that. But at the same time, like, I knew deep down in my core that something was wrong, and that I would be doing a disservice not only to me but to him if I didn't say anything or do anything about it. So I'm not there yet, but I hope to be.
I'm proud of you for being able to choose yourself, though, and I hope that you can feel proud of yourself too one day.
Thank you.
I feel like you've prioritized every single person in your life before yourself. And so, like, just think of baby Liza in these moments and tell her she deserves to put herself first, you know? If you could say anything to her right now, what would you like to say?
I wish you would love yourself a little more.
And to the public who are nosy and shaming you and slut shaming you, do you remember the line you gave me that you want to say to them?
Mind your fucking business.
Louder.
Mind your fucking business!
As loud as you can.
Mind your fucking business!